In this video, we're going to talk about the drinkware that we make. Now, we make double-walled glasses, which Paul is modeling. And we also make these ceramic cups as well. Now, those we've sold for quite a long time, and the reason I insisted on having double-walled glasses was because the Decent does not waste heat. It's all insulated, it's heat on demand, and so it doesn't have a cup warmer. And that led me to think about what kind of glass doesn't waste heat, and the answer is a double-walled glass. And in fact, when you make an espresso and it pours in, or any drink, a milk drink as well, you lose only about 3 Celsius of temperature on those double-walled glasses, whereas with ceramic, it's more in the 10 to 14 Celsius range. When you're making milk drinks, the double-walled glasses are especially beneficial because you don't want to heat milk up any higher than you have to, because the more you heat it, the more you lose flavor. Yeah. So these drinks were really focused on making a piccolo, latte, or anything with a little bit of cream in it, milk and coffee. And that's what they're really optimal for. They're also nice to swirl, and this open shape is one that resembles a latte glass that you can pour latte art into it because it is an open shape. The reason for this is really focused for espresso drinks. Now, one problem you'll notice with this is it's quite open. So when you go to put your nose in it, you don't actually smell much. There was a recent video where we made a geisha.
Yeah.
And the 2 other people were saying, oh, there's not much on the nose. And I got my my fancy wine glass out where I could get it on the sides and concentrate the nose, and I passed it around, and everyone went, oh my God, actually this coffee does have a lot going on the nose. Yes. It's that an open cup like that dissipates the smells. And this cup here was really optimized for espresso drinking. So first of all, it is ceramic, so it cools it, because espresso is coming out 80, 90 Celsius in temperature, and that's much too hot to drink. So you actually want to cool it down. And then secondly, you want to be able to swirl it to get it to come up to the sides. And the inside here is polished, so it climbs up the sides quite easily. This little tipped design is there for a reason. It's there so that as I tip this toward my nose like this, the liquid is not yet coming out. That's why the shape is like this. And then I can put my nose in it, and now the liquid is finally coming out. If I did it in reverse, you'd see that the liquid would come out much sooner, and I can't get my nose in there yet. So the Little Tipsy design to this is expressly for getting your nose in as you tip like this and getting the aromas, as well as cooling it. The outside is just a nice brushed ceramic feel, which I like the tactile, boiled feel.
Completely agree. And it's, if you've got slightly wet hands, it won't slip. And yeah, definitely a really nice tactile sensation there.
You're not really going to find anything like these on the market, and there's a reason, because this open shape can't be molded. It can only be done with a hand-blown process. So that's why there's a little dimple here on the bottom, because that's literally where someone blew to stretch this glass. And you might see the glasses are a little bit different. They're not exactly the same shape, and that's because they're handmade. The handles as well, they're similar but slightly different. Now, you have to be into the craft of handmade. If what you're looking for is machine-made perfection, this is not the cup for you. But if you'd like a small milk drink-oriented cup, this is what I'd recommend. The reason you'd want to use this for espresso is if you have an espresso that you're going to sip really slowly and you'd like it to stay warm. And there is a kind of an optimal temperature, let's say 40 to 50 Celsius is a nice range. Once it drops below 30, you're going to think it's cool. And if you'd like your espresso to be warm, then a double-walled glass really does.
Really useful when I'm dialing in using these cups.
Yeah,
because,
what's that?
You have that comparison, but you still got the relative temperature. So by the time you've made your second shot, your first shot will be roughly good to taste. And then, after you've tasted that, you may make another adjustment from your second shot. And then you have up to 3 shots where you're literally tasting, but they're very, very similar in temperature.
That's a really good point. And when we're tasting, when we're trying to dial in multiple shots, we tend to use double-walled glasses so that they aren't getting cold, because then we have this problem where the hottest one just made doesn't taste as good as the coolest one that we made a while ago. So I wouldn't recommend using these to taste a series of shots. I would use the double-walled one for that, or pouring into a double-walled creamer, which we also do,
Yes, yeah.
and that keeps the temperature. The double-walled glass is much less durable. The glass is very thin. This hand-blown bit is sealed with a little bit of glue, and you can machine wash it, but not at a high temperature, or that little glue can come out. Whereas ceramic, well, it's stone.
Yeah.
And unless you throw it against the wall or drop it on something hard, it's going to last a very long time. Another reason to prefer this shape for espresso is if you're someone who wants to either scoop the crema off or stir it in. And a lot of people do that. Some people think crema is a bad thing and they'd like to remove it or push it out of the way or stir it in. And certainly getting a spoon in there and stirring is easier than with this. In an earlier video, I'm swirling like a wine glass here, and I don't do that anymore because too many times the coffee actually just came swirling right out, because that's what this open shape will do. Whereas a closed shape like this, you can shake it like mad and it won't come out. So this is not a wine glass, this is a milk-oriented glass, an open one.
One of the things I noticed straight away on the ceramic was its lightness, but it feels delicate, but also feels robust. For the doppio glass, what I like it is, if you like your small drinks, milk drinks, like I was saying, how it's curved at the bottom, it really helps with the blending as you're sort of making your canvas for your latte art. So, you know, latte art is great as well in the doppio cup, and for the ceramic cup, I just think it's just overall classy, and and having that extra benefit of the aromas concentrating on, I think that's just great. And ever since that geisha video, I've been looking at like Riedel glasses and how they work, and yeah, it was just one side that I didn't really think about. And
Concentrate on the aroma.
That's
so it turns out the alcohol world has been thinking about volatiles for quite a long time. They don't think so much about temperature, except maybe keeping the ice from melting. That's what we're borrowing here, and this is, you know, very much thinking like a fine alcohol. And how would you smell it? How would you swirl it? And that's the design that we've done there. There you have it. There are the two pieces of glassware that Espresso makes.